know that it's the end. Heart through the floor when it broke, fuck it, it went through. All in your lies and your love, all through your lens. I can feel it, I can pretend. When I'm alone, I be feeling like I'm again. Not really though, cause I know you're really meant to. Leave me at home on the road, all in the wind. I can feel it, I can pretend. And we ain't gotta try again. Your family claim you fall short of the height of it.
Oh man, welcome back to the Gray Space. I'm Zeke, that is Dre.
Yepers.
And we are back with another fire interview.
Yes, we are. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? But before we do all that, make sure y'all subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. Hit that like and comment because you know that I know that you know that you're loving the content. Now, we got a special guest in the building, my guy.
That we do, man. That we do.
And
I'm excited.
It's been so long since I said that. I almost fucked that all the way up. Okay? But our guest today is a young DJ out of Arizona by way of Oregon. His early love of music led him to spinning at mansion parties, which solidified his career path. With songs like Spendin', Bitter, Can't Pretend, and My Tai, he's been able to showcase his versatility when it comes to his production. His ability to adapt has not gone unnoticed, landing him opportunities to tour with YG and many others, as well as tours of his own. I could keep talking about his accolades, you know what I'm saying, but they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it from me. Mm-hmm. He's here to tell us what his initials mean, as well as his story on the only place stories originate. Please welcome DJ HMD to the Gray Space.
Welcome, man. Yeah, man.
Appreciate the intro. That's
fire. Yeah, you got it, man. Thank you, bro, for reaching out. Thank you for pulling up.
For sure. Thank you.
Super exciting, I think, man. You know, as we have interviewed a plethora of guests, man, and we've been in it. You know, I've been in the Arizona music scene for shit, man, 20 some odd years, just being around it and understanding it, back and forth between here and Cali. And it's always super dope to kind of get that new wave. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And there's an extreme new wave of artists that are, you know, basically doing their damn thing out here. Definitely. You know, and the craziest thing I think was so fire is that you have probably a select group that's really getting pushed to the forefront.
Yeah.
But then there's always those gems, right?
Underdog.
The little, yeah. Right. But still, like, you're like, oh, wait, where was he? Where was she? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what happened with you, man, as we started to kind of look into your resume. Mm-hmm. And the stuff you've been doing, man, it's super dope. But I want to take it back. Yeah, because I am the king. I want the damn origin story every time, man. Out of Oregon, born in Houston, but raised in Oregon.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you that Northwest in you, bro. I got some homies from the Northwest. Yeah, you definitely got that Northwest swag. Laid for back, chill. Sure. Yeah. It's a rainy day outside, looking at you. Know
exactly. I got the hoodie on.
I still gotta have my hoodie on. Yeah. Talk to us, man, about your early days growing up in Oregon, and kind of how you blossomed into, you know, now today DJ HMD.
For sure. So born in Houston. And I was adopted, moved to Portland when I was 1.
Okay.
So grew up out there, high school, elementary, middle school, all that good stuff.
Okay.
And then as far as music, got started just listening to like music in my dad's car.
Okay.
Records like from Elton John, Billy Joel to DMX, Bow Wow, like 2000s type.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Because I was born in 98, so I kind of got the little bit of the 90s, but like the 2000s is really where
respectable.
For sure. And then DJ'd my parents' parties.
Okay.
That's where I got my first experience was doing that. They had like little block parties, cookouts, kind of stuff for like 4th of July.
Okay.
And I would actually sync up the music to the fireworks.
Okay.
So they would give me like a list, and like the neighborhood would give me like a list of music.
Okay.
And depending on like the length of the firework and like the colors, the sounds, all that, I would literally sync the music and
That's
like
fire.
DJ to
That's
the.
dope.
That's
Yeah. And I was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Like doing that.
So how'd you get like 7, 8? Get a mix, like where does that start? You know what I mean? Because you 7, 8, man, you still playing video games, bro. Like it's the 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so how'd you
sure.
start to get into like getting a mixing board and then eventually DJing, family parties?
Yeah, so my dad took me to Guitar Center.
Okay.
He saw that I was like interested, and then in elementary school, they had us like playing the clarinet and like the flute, like like
shout out to clarinet. What was it? What was the one that we had to do?
There was like the recorder too.
The recorder.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
The recorder. There it is. All right, bet.
Yeah, so he saw that I was like getting more into that.
Okay.
Not the recorder so much, but just
right?
music in general.
Okay.
And I was heavy into like Run DMC, so like Bear Swag, like Adidas, like Beat Boys, graffiti, like DJ, like actual turntables.
Okay.
So he got me my first mixer, and at the time, like I don't even think like Serato DJ, which is like the main DJ software, like was a thing. Like it was just turntables.
Okay.
And then if you wanted to do like actual like mixes and stuff, you had to like actually put the CD in like the mixer. So like the one that I had like could do tapes, CDs, and vinyl. And then that was right around the time that they launched like the iPod. So you could like aux cord too.
Got you.
So like when I was mixing, I would go between like my CDs, my tapes, and like the original like iPod.
Okay.
And
Shout
started out,
Sure.
like that was like bare minimum iTunes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
All you had was music on that boy. That was it. Yeah.
So I still have like my CD collection and all that too.
Okay.
Like my vinyls, all that stuff. So like
Fire.
yeah, I was literally putting CDs like in the thing,
Okay.
recording it to like at the time too. You could record tracks to the mixer, so like you could record it straight on. So like if I didn't have the CD, I could go through the tracks that were on like the actual mixer.
Too. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still DJ with vinyl?
I do every now and then. Now I feel like it's a little bit easier with like the digital age because my crates on there thousands on thousands. To where with vinyls, I still have like at least like 1,000 vinyls easily, but it kind of depends. I got a little bit away from it just because the digital stuff is so easy,
right?
And that way I don't have to bring like crates to concerts and stuff. But if I'm doing like a corporate gig or like a wedding and somebody wants that, oh yeah, for sure.
That's cool that you can do that because I don't think there's a lot of DJs
today,
bro, that can
rare.
actually. I'm serious, man. Like, I remember sitting in my friend's, and this is legit 1998. So the year you're born, that kind of dates how old I am.
That's crazy. That's wild.
But we would sit in his apartment, and I would watch him spin vinyl.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really cool, man. Yeah. And, I just have a lot of appreciation for people who can actually still spin vinyl. I get the ease of it, though. Like, why not? Take advantage of the technology. I mean, that's why it's there, right?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. And nowadays too, they even have like mixers that have that like vinyl feel, that have like the spinning turntables, but it's all still digital. So you still get that feel of like actually like scratching and doing all that,
right?
But without having to actually take the vinyls and put them on. So you still get a little bit.
The adapters, all that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's dope, man, because I like that you brought that up as far as like you came into the game when hardware was still a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you started when there was a real transition. And I think, like he said, that art has been a little lost because you got to go back to the roots. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you open up that book of CDs, man. You got to flip that damn thing.
Right?
Oh, Nas, all right, here he is. You know what I'm saying? You got to think in alphabetical order and everything. So as you started to come through and get older, man, I saw a thing about, and I mentioned it earlier, man, where the mansion parties. Obviously coming up, Portland, Oregon. You know, it's one of those places that I've never been. You have family that's been there, that's lived there. Okay. It's one of those places that I feel like if you've been there or you're from there, you absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But for different reasons. Like, it's like a big city.
1,000%.
But it's also a small time, like small feel. Like it's a...
Everybody still kind of knows each other. Like,
exactly. It's almost, I mean, almost like Phoenix in that sense. It kind of very similar. So talk to us, man, because I saw that you said basically the mansion parties is where you were like, oh no, I'm for real with this. Yeah. So talk to us about that, man.
Yeah, so like with the mansion parties, I kind of started that in high school. Okay. I wasn't really into the party scene per se. Okay. Until like my junior, senior year, because start of high school, I was playing basketball heavy. Okay. I was more focused on that. But the last like couple months of my senior year, everybody wanted to party, like going into college. Like, yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, let me like see what I can do kind of thing. Right. So during that time, like you had the Blazers were popping. That's right when like Damian Lillard was getting picked up and drafted. So, they threw like, well, they kind of ended up coming to one. Okay. Not Damian, but like some of the Blazers. Okay. And they were just telling me like, yo, play this record, play this record, play this record. And I was quick with it and had everything like ready on point. Okay. Nice. And just seeing like the reaction from like them, because you know they're major celebrities. They've been to, and they're way older. So like at that time, they've been to clubs, they've been to whatever. They know the vibes, and they're looking at me like this dude's killing it, crazy, going off. That's hard. Yeah. So just seeing that, I was like, oh yeah, I got something here for sure. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So go ahead, jump in.
I just got to ask, dude. You come from the trees. Now you want to come to the dirt. Yeah. Why the transition to a beautiful place
for sure?
Like where there's water and all kinds of greenery, and then you come over here and it's all just doo-doo brown.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It was definitely like a culture shock. Like, Portland's cool. I grew up there. You know, it has its little things. Like you said, like, I could go over to Mount Hood and go skiing one weekend if I want to. Yeah. I can go to the beach. I can go to a lake. And then I come here and it's, cactuses and dirt. But honestly, it was just like a family decision. My mom had got a job out here. I was in college still and kind of moving around. They sold that house, so I just ended up moving out here. Okay. Right. But yeah, it's definitely different. More people, lot bigger scene out here too. Like Portland has like its music scene. Like we have an artist out there named Keith Canvas. He's kind of like indie rock ish. And then we had Amine, who's our like our dude. Right. Yeah. But besides that, like nobody's really popped for Portland. Besides, I mean, like Damian Lillard, obviously,
Dame spitting, right? Dame Dollar.
Yeah, he's. It is a different scene up there too, for sure. You know, because I'm familiar with. I've been up to Seattle area and Portland. I had a sister who lived up there for many years, and I feel it's more of like a rock scene up there than it is, like a hip hop scene. More of an indie rock type of vibe going on. Which if that's your thing, man, it's cool. It's a cool thing to be up there for
sure.
For sure, you know what I mean. So I guess. I don't know, man. You just don't hear a lot of hip hop coming out of the Northwest.
Like out there, there's a couple clubs that like play hip hop and R&B. I found like a couple cool DJs that like still spin out there. But yeah, like we had like the Roseland Theater was popping. That's like the most popping hip hop venue out there, I would say. I think, that's like the main one.
Is the Roseland the one that's like up like some stairs, like in a
there's an upstairs and a downstairs. It's like right downtown. Yes, you got like Voodoo Donuts around the corner. Like so like I've done a couple shows there. Nice. Early on, like super early, like Young Thug, YG was there, and then like the legends like Bow Wow, DMX, Nas, like every major like hip hop person performed there. But even then, like that's still a indie rock type of venue, like you said. Like it's very rare that you get like a sold out hip hop show unless like somebody's viral or like popping.
Gotcha.
And at that point, they're gonna go like perform at like the Blazers Arena. Like Travis Scott, every time he comes, Blazers
Arena.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, you kind of hit on it. So, do you like the scene out here better?
definitely. I think there's more artists out here and more tours, including like underground and upcoming and also major stuff that comes out here. To where in Portland, like you still get a couple artists, couple major people that'll hit like the Motor Center, like the Blazers Stadium, but out here, I definitely think there's more clubs and more things to do.
For sure.
But there's also more people, so.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
So, I want to get into, because you brought it up, I want to get into the tours in a minute. But let's kind of transition because you're a producer. And you make some fire shit. Appreciate you know what I'm saying? if I may say. And you've been on, like I said, man, like this little sneaky tear. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like, oh shit, you know. And, the tracks you've been dropping, man, have been fire.
Thank you.
First of all, how did you get into production? Was that always a part of it while you were DJing, or was it just like, man, I'm kind of not bored with this, but I need to add something to my arsenal. Let me try this. Like how was that transition?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
I felt like I was getting kind of like stagnant with the DJ stuff.
Okay.
And wanted to pick up producing. And with DJing and producing, I'm both like self-taught.
Okay.
Just by like YouTube and experimenting and stuff.
Right.
But I ended up picking up FL Studio. Yeah. And like Logic and messing around with that. Just because I feel like hip hop in general and like the stuff that I was listening to, I was like, I feel like I could make that.
Okay. Fair enough.
And just wanted to try it.
Yeah.
And ended up falling in love with it and
being decent at it.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
That's half the battle, you know what I mean? Like your shit was whack and nobody want to rap on it, you know what I mean?
And like early stages, I definitely had some trash shit. Yeah.
Man. Especially them original like FL Studio loops that you get, like the standard loops. Yeah. You be like, yo, this is fire, and they're like, nah bro. Yeah. It sounds like a tin can, dog. Like shit.
Exactly.
So how did you start? Like, when did you start? Did you start in Oregon or did you start out here?
I feel like it was more out here.
Okay.
When I was like pursuing DJing like heavy. Like there was a certain point, and still now, to where like that's all I was doing.
Okay.
But then kind of took a break from that to produce and like put out a couple records and try stuff. Tried like selling my beats and just giving out USBs to artists. But I definitely think like I had to take a step back from DJing to focus on that a little bit more and kind of find that balance between the two.
Yeah. So it's not like, you know, most people start producing, rapping, whatever, and it's like, you know, the homies or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You're like, nah, I'm gonna get Emmett Dupree. I'm gonna get the boy. I'm gonna get some Morrison. Like I'm gonna get like people that are really popping, really doing their thing. And I gotta say, man, that Mai Tai, even though it's a little bit older, right up my alley. And Bitter too. Like I'm big West. And that thing sounds so West to me, man. I was like, this is me. This is me right here. But you just really been dropping singles. I gotta ask, and I'm asking this a little early. Normally I would ask this a little later in the interview, but I gotta ask, is there a DJ Khaled type, DJ Drama type of project on the way?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because I
for
think,
sure.
And again, I think what you've been, and I want you to speak to it, but I think what you've been able to provide with those 4 tracks, right? With Can't Pretend, Bitter, Spending, Mai Tai, with you just look at those 4 tracks and just by themselves, versatility. 4 totally different sounding tracks.
Oh, for sure.
You got a little DJ Mustard. You've got a little Afro beats, Latino vibe on there. Like, so talk to us about this potential project.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? If you can.
Yeah, for sure. I got you. So pretty much with like all the records that I put out, like you said, I wanted to kind of showcase my versatility.
Okay.
And give everybody like something. So with like Spendin', K Suave, that's on that record, that's Trippie Redd's artist. So that's that kind of like young, don't give a fuck, like
For
underground,
sure. 100%.
whatever.
Right.
And like honestly, I just dropped that record like out of nowhere and it started going up. So it's like, all right, cool.
Right.
Just as like something to give like those like rager mosh pit kind of crowd.
Very much so.
Yeah. And then with Bitter, like you said, I wanted West Coast, like R&B, stuff like that. Same with the song with Emmett. I wanted more of like an R&B feel.
That damn song.
And then, thank you. And then with Mai Tai, yeah, like that Afro beat, Latina kind of like stuff. But as far as a project, I'm definitely working and leaning more towards like the R&B West Coast.
Okay.
So I have a lot of stuff in my pocket right now.
Nice.
You talking my language, dog. You are speaking my language, dog.
Yeah, so with that project, I kind of wanted to give like a little more like Portland, Cali, West Coast feel.
Okay.
I do still have some like turn up records on there too, but lately I kind of want to make like more timeless records, R&B stuff that's like gonna stick.
Yeah.
Stuff that I can promote for a long time. Like it's not just a record that, you know, I put out and I'm like, okay, whatever. It's a record, you know, if it doesn't pop at like the start, you know, years or months down the line, it'll hit.
Bro, that's
hold
on. I gotta stop you right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's got to be the smartest thing I've heard.
1,000%.
I'm serious, bro. And look, I ain't talking. We have a lot of people on here. I respect a lot of people that come on here. Great people. They do great music and stuff like that. You know, that's got to be the smartest thing I've ever heard, because most of the time you're rooting for, like, I'm going to be rooting for you. I'm not kidding, man. I'm really going to be rooting for you, right?
Thank you.
But it's a sad thing to, like, you root for somebody and then you hear that record drop, right? And then that's it. You don't hear the push ever.
No
anymore.
promo,
nothing. It's like, well, you might hear a little bit of promo for like maybe a week, maybe, right? And then it's like, bro, that track is good. Keep going. Or if there's a full project, it's like, bro, you only dropped one single. Like, you can drop at least 2 more and spread them out or whatever. I just want to commend you. I don't really have a question. I just want to commend you for saying that, because, and I really hope you stick with that, because I think it's something that you believe in. I think you should push it for a year and a half.
Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, I mean, just on the podcast side, I could tell you videos that we've done, the music that we've reviewed or whatever, didn't catch on till a year later.
Exactly.
Then all of a sudden, thousands of views happen, and you're like, why?
Legit.
Yeah.
Because they went viral.
That's
you know
what I
what I
was
mean?
gonna say.
And, you know, again, it's just one of those things, and people catch the wave, and you're like, oh, okay, that's an awesome sound. You know what I mean? So, I just want to commend you.
Thank
for
you.
that.
Yeah, just touching on that, I always tell like artists and DJs and people I know, just like, don't give up on a record, because you can put something out now, and then like you said, you drop a random TikTok video and boom, the TikTok video gets 3.5 million and your song gets 1 million, like, or whatever.
Right.
Or a label randomly hears one song that has 10,000 plays, they pick it up and they do their promotion or help you out, and boom, the song gets 1 million or 10 million or whatever. But yeah, I definitely always push and like think like, don't give up on a record. And that's also why I always drop like a bunch of different genres, is because it gives you different places to market too, and that way you're not 100%. Just stuck with one lane. Like,
and super smart, bro. So you didn't just be like, wake up one day and like, yo, I got this genius plan. This is what I'm gonna do. Like, how difficult has has it all been? But you've really been DJing your whole life, so that after like 12, you pretty much had it down. It was like, let me just get better, right?
Exactly.
On the production side and getting into the music industry, which we know, man, is like
stuff.
It's easier. I don't want to discount anybody's job, but it's easier to do a lot of other things.
Yeah.
It's a very who you know. Really, that's it, right? Over talent, popularity over talent. Yeah. How hard has it been for you to kind of develop and get known in that space?
I think like going back to like separating the two, I think DJing was easier because, you know, it's just talent and being good and having the right records. Again, it's like who you know. So as far as like getting booked, it was kind of just doing more events.
Right.
There was a point where, you know, I was even paying to get on stuff just to get seen.
Right.
And like doing free gigs, just getting my name out there. So now that I don't have to do that, you know, it's a blessing for sure.
Right.
And then as far as like the artist side, it was definitely difficult because for one, your beats have to be good.
Right.
You got to get them seen by the right people.
Right.
And then for me, I don't sing. I've tried. I'm all right. But just not my thing. But for me, I got to get people on my records. So whether that's paying them for a verse or a hook or figuring out a split sheet, which is like giving them a percentage of the record.
Right.
Not the masters. Don't do that.
Right. 100%.
But like royalty.
Yeah.
Percentage that they're happy with. That was definitely difficult because the fundings come from me. I'm independent. I'm not signed. I don't have a distribution deal. Like nothing. Right. So everything is coming out of my pocket. And you know, there's been features to where they're like, "Yeah, I want 2,000. I want 5,000." And I have to be like, consider it and you know work out numbers and everything. So that's definitely been difficult. To where, you know, I want to get to that point to where I'm like a DJ Khaled to where people want to be on my stuff.
Right. It's a phone call away.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And it's slowly growing. But yeah, like I think as far as like an artist / DJ, like just getting people on my records and paying for features has been the most difficult thing.
Have you ever had a situation where like somebody hit you with the ticket price and you were like, nah. But then, like, later on, maybe you developed a relationship with them. You don't have to mention who they are, but I'm just saying, like, because I think a lot of times that happens too, man. Like, let's just, like, it's a who you know type of situation. So, you know, you always gonna come straight out the gate, like, man, this is what I'm worth, you know. And then it's like you start having a couple drinks with them, like, hey, man, remember that track you sent me, man? I'll do it, man. I'll be over next week. Like, so how many times does that happen? Like, is that more normal now than...
Now, I think, too, like, people are seeing what I'm doing.
Okay.
And now that they're seeing the story, they get it.
Yeah.
So at first, they might hit me with crazy ticket, but then say I go do a show for them, I'm chopping it up with them backstage, I play them the record, they're like, oh yeah, let's do a split instead of the ticket, or we figure it out, or they just do it off the love or the strength.
That's dope.
Yeah, I definitely have seen that a lot.
Yeah,
recently.
I can believe it.
Yeah,
I can believe it.
I want to get into just a little bit of the nitty gritty of how you make a beat. How is it? How do you start? What's the inspiration?
Yeah,
is it a sample? Is it a drum beat? What is it? What makes you go, that's it, that's where I want to go, and then push through the production side of making that whole beat?
Because it's not easy to do that process.
No, bro, like I've even tried.
We both tried.
And I'm
the
like,
first goddamn day. We're never doing this shit again.
And it takes a lot of dedication to sit down, and especially when you have an idea. You know, it just real quick is, you know, you sit down and I get these grandiose ideas and I can't do none of it. You know, and I'm pretty decent, but I'm better at like mixing and mastering
for sure. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. If you could tell me like your process with that.
Yeah. So like originally, I would just start off with like a loop, or I'd have a melody. Okay. So I might, you know, be thinking about a melody in my head or be humming something, and play it out on the keyboard and then tweak it from there. Or so that was like early on, but now like you have all these sound libraries, so like Splice, even Serato has their own thing now, which is like the DJ program, but they launched like a beat making thing. So I know like Metro Boomin, he uses that a lot. So I might start with that, and from there it kind of just depends on the sound that I want. So if I want like an Afrobeat song, I might start off with like some like shakers or like fillers, and then do like the 808s and the drums and stuff like that. But a lot of people will start out the opposite and do like the 808s and the drum pattern first with the loop and then add everything else. But I think personally I like adding the loop first, because that's, and like the main melody, because that's what's gonna like make the track hit and, you know, stick.
Right.
But recently I've been messing around with samples a lot more.
Okay.
Just because I feel like that's what's trending right now. So actually I made like this Jodeci sample.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get it cleared. But that song will be on the R&B project for sure. So sometimes I'll start off with the sample and either like pitch it up, pitch it down, or just strip it and have the acapella and then add my melodies and everything else to it. But I feel like that's what a lot of producers are doing now, is sampling, because you're taking an old song and making it popular again. So if people already like the old one, 90% of the time they might like the new one.
Right.
If it's good.
Right.
If you know, do the original song justice, for sure. But yeah, I definitely always start out with like a melody or a loop and then kind of build up from there.
And that's kind of the art of hip hop, right? That's where hip hop came from, is the samples, right? Taking the old R&B records and flipping them into, you know, hip hop records, where, you know, basically spoken word poetry, and then now hip hop. Just do me a favor though.
Yeah.
When you do the samples, don't just drop the old song, right?
Yeah.
And then add like a snare or two. Because that's what I
like a
just
little
said.
like,
bro. They be I'm like,
yeah.
is that a sample or is it?
You took
that's
the
a
whole
cover
thing.
song.
Yeah.
Right. This a remix. This ain't this the original song. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially because, you know, man, our 90s R&B, man.
Yeah.
It's deep to the heart, man.
Holds
You know
a
what I'm
special
saying?
place.
Holds a special place, man. So I'm like, yo, I'm like, do it justice, because I love.
Yeah.
I forget what the record was. J. Cole did the one sample on was it For Your Eyes Only? I forget the actual sample, but I remember that one.
Yeah.
And like the way he flipped that, and then I think it was Bryson Tiller did the same sample. Like when you do it that way, and it's like you said, slow down the tempo, add in a couple drums, give it a whole new vibe, but it's still a little nostalgic. Like I'm with that. Just don't copy the whole song. You know what I mean?
So with the Jodeci, like imagine like Come and Talk to Me by Jodeci, but West Coast.
I'm out.
No, he's legit out too.
Bro, like that's one of my favorite. I was literally singing that today, bro. Like that's one of my favorite records of all time. And you said the 4-letter word that I love the most, the West.
Yes.
You know
like,
what I'm
but
saying?
like West Coast R&B, like
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. That's fire, man. So let's get into these tours, man, because I really want to drive this point home with what you're doing, man. Major things that are going under the radar, right? It's like it's almost, it doesn't make sense, right? Because I'm like, nah, this dude is really killing it, like really doing some major things, and it's like, but these 5 people are talked about, and that's it. And no disrespect to them, like we got major love
for sure
for these people. Had a couple of them on the platform, but what you're doing production wise, man, and putting these great records together, and then now transitioning to, I'm just getting on tour with YG. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that come about? And what is that moment like for you, going from, you know, family parties, mansion parties, transitioning to a whole different state, and now this thing is really working out for you?
Yeah. Honestly, I would just say it's all networking and connecting the dots.
Okay.
And just like timing.
Yeah.
Like, so as far as like the 4Hunnid and the YG stuff go, I've had a relationship with them since high school.
Okay.
He would pop up to like those mansion parties, and at the time he had a song called "Tooted and Booted" with with Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah.
So he was yeah. So he was pushing that. Yes, at the time he was pushing that heavy.
Yeah.
So he would pop up to like high schools in Cali, and Oregon, and do like different mansion parties and stuff.
Okay.
So at the time, I don't even think he had a manager, so I had just got his number and kind of lost contact. And then he dropped the album called My Crazy Life that went insane.
That literally went crazy.
And I actually just went to that concert like as a fan of his. Like I love his music, love his aesthetic, all that. So I had paid for meet and greet and got in contact again. Ended up talking with him on the tour bus and playing Madden, got his number again.
Okay.
And then from there, we kind of just kept in contact, lost contact again, just because artists always change their numbers and stuff happens. And I met his brother Cam, who runs like 4Hunnid Flowers, like his weed brand.
Right.
So I just went to those little pop-ups in LA to network, got in with them. And from there on out, they have always, kept in contact and been super cool people.
Okay.
Every time they're on tour, I go. They support me. I support them.
Right.
So, yeah, I just networked with them. And one day got a call, and they were like, hey, we're going to be in Arizona for, like, the next couple of days. Can you line us up with, like, some club stuff?
Okay.
So I ended up taking them to Jags.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Jags.
With OGZ, who's like, in the YG realm and all that. But the next day, they were like, hey, we need a DJ for our artist D3.
Okay.
So I ended up DJing for him on the Red Cup tour. Obviously, I said yes.
Right.
And that was amazing. It was at the Arizona Federal or Financial Theater or something like that, downtown. So I think like 8, 9, 10,000 people, sold out.
That's fire.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Was that your biggest tour, like, or your biggest show at that point?
Yeah, for
How
sure.
was that, bro? I know you was shook, dog. Like, let's keep it a buck. I know you was shook a little bit.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was definitely like stressing backstage, but I just had to tell myself, like, it's time.
Yeah.
Like all the hard work I put in. They gave me like the set list literally like 30, 40 minutes before I had to go on stage. So I just ran through that, made sure I had all the drops right. And I knew D3's music just by like being a fan.
Right.
And like messing with 4Hunnid and all that already. Right. So I kind of know all their artists stuff and YG stuff. So I already knew all the records. But yeah, we just put that together last minute. And killed it, honestly. Yeah.
It
was crazy.
Man.
But I was definitely feeling the butterflies.
Oh man,
and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
you weren't like how was it? How was the aftermath, man? Because like I remember like when back in the old days, like when I used to really be in the music scene heavy, and I used to perform. And I remember, like, especially early on, dude, I'm talking like maybe a couple hundred people, right? Like, you're talking thousands of people. And I would get off stage, man, and I'd be like done. Like, somebody shot, like, they shot me up, bro. Like, pause. And, like, I remember, like, that feeling, like, how was the aftermath of that? Were you like,
it was like a weight off my shoulders, too. Because, like, his manager, like, I think his name's Psych.
Yes.
Yeah. Like D3's manager and Cam and all them, they were like watching. So like, they're the homies, but I still had that pressure of like, I gotta, kill it.
Yeah.
So me and D3, we're both nervous. Like everybody gets nervous, but like me personally, like when I was done, I was like, let me let me take a shot. Let me chill, have a good time. You know, watch YG. I got to see like OGZ, Kalen for real, who's coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like after the show, I definitely was like,
thank God.
Yeah. Everything went smoothly. Like the audio was perfect.
That's
I had my engineer with me too, Alex. He does like all my shows, make sure that he does my music too, like mix and masters all my stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, he made sure like everything was perfect. I had to like thank him, like bow down, like make sure everything was good. Huge, yeah. But
so are you looking to stay independent? Are you because it's kind of a different thing with you because you got the DJ thing. But are you looking to maybe become part of a team or get signed, or kind of just like do your own thing?
Right now I'm still kind of doing my own thing.
Okay.
I definitely have some offers and people I'm talking to. But yeah, like I think signing or like a distribution deal would be perfect. Just kind of like a home that's gonna push me, give me like a little bit more extra promo, whether it's radio or just blogs, whatever, playlists, all that good stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely think maybe in like the next couple months there might be something.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of independent, I want to ask you, what's your opinion on the state of hip hop today? Do you like where it's at? Do you feel like it's in a weird spot? Just like, what's your overall opinion about in music in general today?
I think right now hip hop's definitely like there's everybody wants to be a rapper. So there's a lot of like saturation. You get, you know, every now and then somebody will blow up on TikTok like every week. Like no offense to like the artists out now, like everybody's doing their own thing. I applaud everybody. But I think we need to go back to making quality records and not TikTok hits. Because like right now, I would say in my opinion, like the biggest rapper, and this is no diss to her, is Sexy Red. And that's not timeless music. That's TikTok stuff. So I think if we went back and made like quality records, that's also another reason why I think like R&B is gonna come back, and like Afro beats are popping right now. Because nobody wants to listen to, you know, my coochie this, my booty hole this, pause. But you know, like pause. But
no, that's true though.
Yeah, that's a pause recession. For that. I know you got what you said. We put a pause recession on that. We get it.
But yeah, I think hip hop needs like something different. And then also the other day too, like I saw that it's almost been a year since there's been a #1 hip hop record on the Billboard Hot 100.
Really? See, I feel like I agree with you, right? I think it's oversaturated, 100%. And I feel that way with every genre of music, right? Because of social media in general.
Exactly.
And it is hard to find, because those TikTok videos or people seeing, some of them are really good.
Yeah, people make good content for
really
sure.
Good.
Yeah.
But again, to your point, most of it's not classic music, right? You might hear a hint of, ooh, this would be really good if they got into, not a huge studio, but just somewhere where they can be like, tap in with somebody else. You know what I mean? Right. And kind of hone that in to make a classic album, right? I think they're still being made, but they're being made by the OGs. Like, Killer Mike just put out an album, a month ago?
Crazy.
That was, to me, is a classic album.
Yeah.
But why the OGs only making classic album? What's up with the, you know, the newer, like, it's very trend setting. Yeah. And I agree with you. It is probably my biggest disappointment with music in general today is just the trendiness of it, you know, and oh, it's hot, you know, let's, you know, but then it just, it's on fire. It's like a piece of paper. You light on fire and it, boom, it bursts into flames. But it don't last very long. And it just turns to ash.
People are just chasing that million streams or whatever their goal is, or viral hit. And yeah, like you said, it's here 1 month, and then next month you don't hear anything.
Gone, and and guarantee you don't even remember anyways.
Exactly.
You're like, well, who was that?
Yeah.
Like, what,
And the attention span of music right now is everybody like Drake. If you think about it, he dropped 3 projects this year and is about to drop a 4th. Like, when's the last time Drake literally didn't drop an album, then go ghost for 3-4 years? And it's because people want music right now. Like, they get bored of an album after a couple months.
Yeah.
So it's definitely important. I mean, I know I've been slacking with dropping music, but it's definitely important nowadays with social media too, to just continue to release all the time.
But do you think that's the case? Because when you look at somebody like Kendrick Lamar, who can just have this big wave, disappear, like you said, how Drake did, and then you even look at a D Smoke, right, where D Smoke came out, obviously got a lot of popularity from the show, but his album, the first album, was fire, and he sat on that album
for a hot minute,
for 2 years. And he took, I want to say he damn near took every track on that album and made it a single at some point. He just promoted the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So by the time Warren Wonders came out, it was oh man, we've been waiting for this, right? I think there's, a little balance there, personally. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you can get a little annoying at some point, right? It's all right, man, we get it, dog. And then especially if you don't drop a project, you just drop in single. So it's all right, man, we get it. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why too I feel I want to take my time with that R&B project.
Yeah.
Because I have singles that are ready to go now that I could drop whenever. But a solid in my opinion classic West Coast project with all the artists that I want on it, and a label potentially pushing it or whatever, and getting that major promo.
Right.
I want to 100% take my time and make it
makes sense
the way I want. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of goes both ways, you said.
Yeah. Bro, you killing it, bro. I ain't gonna stop, man. I'm really I was excited for this, and I'm so glad. You just dope, dude.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So I really want to know, man. You said the name of the project was I forget what it was. What'd you say the name of the project was?
I didn't yet.
Oh, that's crazy. You see that?
I knew where he was going. I was like, oh man, I hope you don't get yourself in trouble, bro.
You saw me right now. You saw me working. You saw me working.
Too long, bro. I've known you for too long, bro.
Come on, man.
But the R&B project is going to be called Live from the West.
I'm out, man.
Yeah.
Man, well, man, I've got this very strong voice, you know what I'm saying? So if you need any type of interludes or something, I'm big live from the West. You know what I mean? We damn near in California, right? We in SoCal, Arizona right now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
What's next, bro? What's next for you, bro? What's on the agenda, man, for DJ HMD?
A lot more shows. A tour that I was gonna go on got pushed back a little bit.
Okay,
but a tour, maybe 5-6 cities, maybe November, December to end the year or top of next year. They're still working out dates.
Okay.
I guess I can say it was the YG and Tyga tour.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was gonna DJ for D3. A couple dates on that.
Fire.
Me and D3 also have some music on the way.
Okay.
To end the year off, and then top of next year, middle of the year, that Live from the West. Yeah.
Nice, man.
R&B project.
I'm so with it, bro. I'm so with it. Anything that we missed, that we didn't cover, that you would like to address to the people?
I'll just shout out to everybody working. Shout out you guys. I appreciate you guys having me again. I think everybody in Arizona right now is doing dope stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely like shout out to like AZ Way Too Active. They're doing their thing.
Yeah.
John Blaze.
Big shouts.
Two Tone Superstar.
Yep.
Matty Ice is doing his thing.
Shout out to Matty Ice, yep.
And yeah, there's like a bunch of dope artists out here too, just working. Everybody working.
Yeah.
So I definitely think we need to support each other out here and just
1000%.
in the music industry in general. And yeah, I think AZ definitely has a scene that's gonna pop very soon.
Yeah, as long as we continue that support, man, I believe that as well, man.
For sure.
Let them know where they can find you.
All right. They can find
That was it. Let them know where they can find you.
You can find me all platforms at The Real DJ HMD.
Okay.
I did The Real because there is another DJ HMD. We're working on getting that kind of separated.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like another person that goes by DJ HMD, and he kind of popped out of nowhere. So I want people to know I'm the real one. So yeah,
we don't get him out of here. You know?
So yeah, all platforms at The Real DJ HMD, and then Spotify, Apple Music, just DJ HMD.
Dope. And then when you drop the project, you got to pull back up, bro, because you know we do it. We actually do a review show as well, so we love to have you in the building, and that way you can talk to the people about your intention with the music. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, man, appreciate you, dog.
Thank you guys again.
This was dope,
Appreciate
man.
you.
This was super dope, man.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming through, dude. And like I said before, dude, I'm really rooting for you. I really am, man.
Thank you.
I want to see the best, and we'll definitely be in your corner, man. And like you said, man, you got to come back on when you drop the music, man. Because we love breaking down stuff, man.
Awesome.
We could get into little nitty gritties and stuff. So
Yeah,
really
sounds dope.
appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
You guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
And as always, this is the Gray Space. Peace.
Let me do praise. And DJ HMD, what? Let me talk to him. How long it take you to know that it's the end? Heart through the floor when it broke, fuck it, it went through. All in your lies and your love, all through your lens. I can feel it, I can pretend. When I'm alone, I be feeling like I'm again. Not really though, cause I know you're really meant to. Leave me at home on the road, all in the wind. I can feel it, I can pretend. And we ain't gotta try again. Your family clan, you fall short of the height of it.